Welcome to a very spooky episode of Boozytails. So, I bet you guys are wondering what these are. Yes, there's dry ice bubbling away, but these are some very special party favors. Each one of these is a separate cocktail. These are 60ml glasses, and what I'm going to show you is how to make 2 to 3 of these per batch. It's going to be exciting. So let's get started. Right, for our first syringe, which is this beauty, you will need tonic, vodka apple, and some sour monkey, which is an interesting thing. It's like a schnapps, but it's sour and green. For this one, we'll be using our stirring cup thing. It's great. What you're gonna do is you wanna get your ice, you wanna get your tongs and your ice, put your ice in your glass. These drinks that we're gonna make, these will be your party favors. So when you're doing your Halloween party, you'll be able to impress all your guests with your mad little syringe selections. I personally went to my local medical suppliers and got a box of these. I don't think it cost me more than $50 for a box of 60. So they're quite cheap and they look quite neat. Once you have your ice in your stirring cup, you don't have to use one of these. You can use anything at home you got, a mug or whatever, or just combine it in a big bowl, suck it into the syringe. They won't know. This just looks better for you guys. You want to put 60 mils of your So that's 60 mils of tonic. Then you want 30 mils of your apple vodka. Any apple vodka would do. I'm personally using Smirnoff because it was on special at my local bottle-o. What's a bottle-o, you may ask, because you're not from Australia? It's a store specifically dedicated to alcohol. That's right, we don't go to a supermarket or a 7-Eleven for our beer. No, we go to a giant warehouse. Then you want 45 mils of your sour monkey. This stuff is great. It's like a apple flavored, but it's also got like a real sour feel to it, which complete your drinks. Well, I find they complete them. Then, as the final, you want to get your lemon squeezy, a lime, cut your lime in half, very carefully, mind you. Once you've cut it, put it in your jigger, whatever they're called, or just half squeeze a lime into your drink. They're quite good. Once you've done that, you want to stir. The idea is that it cools the drink, at the same time allows a little bit of the content of the ice to move through it. You know what? This is boring. How about we make it more fun? So, as you stir your witch's brew potently, you think to yourself, will my guests enjoy my bubbling cocktail of awesomeness? Of course they will. Because if they're not having fun at your party, you will inject the fun into them. How, you may ask? With this beauty. Now, if you are using dry ice, because somehow you've managed to copy me step from step, don't put it right at the bottom, because that's where the ice sits. Just put it slightly above. Fill up your glass, your syringe, and there you go. Your first party favor. Now, if you count it along at home, you will find that we have enough for about 2 syringes worth of drink. Squeeze the air bubbles out, top it up if you like. Now you have 2 shots, because it's 60 mils. That's 2 ounces to you guys. So, there is our first one done. Now I will make it disappear. Whack! So, we've made our green one. That's always a good color to start with. Now we want to make a red one. Red ones, it's Halloween, guys. Come on, don't you want some bloody action? For this, we're going to need 30 mils of Chambord, or 1 ounce, 30 mils of vanilla vodka, or 1 ounce, 15 mils or half an ounce of Voc cherry brandy. This stuff on its own tastes like cough medicine, so I wouldn't recommend getting it just for a night out. And then some lemonade, just to like spruce things up. So, 30 mils of lemonade. $30 mils of our Chambord. By the way, as a side note, this stuff is incredible. This is a good night out. This and lemonade by itself, mint. 30 mils of vanilla vodka. Personally, I'm using my Absolute because I just find that vanilla has a nicer end flavor profile to it, but it's down to user preference. Vanilla vodka, and then the Voc. This should add a really deep red color to it. Like, as you watch it come out, it's very thick and syrupy, kind of blood-like. So if you want it to be more blood-like, you'll just put a little bit more in. All in all, you get a stirrer. Give it a good stir, make sure it's all mixed up. Make sure you have your syringes on handy. If they're not new syringes, like say you have some left over from another party, make sure you give them a good rinse. The majority of syringes that you have, assuming they're medical grade ones and not the play ones, if you really need to reuse them, pull them out, put them through your dishwasher, hand wash them, get them nice and clean. Even though you're putting booze in it, you don't want to give people dirty syringes. Okay, we fill these bad boys up. There we go. Pretty bloody, right? I ran out of ice, so let's use some dry one. Caution, dry ice. Dry ice extremely cold, negative 78.5 degrees Celsius. Dry ice may cause severe burns on contact with skin. Dry ice must be handled with care. Use gloves. Dry ice liberates a heavy gas which may cause suffocation. Dry ice stored in confined storage areas to be ventilated before entering. Dry ice must not be tasted or placed in the mouth. I wonder why. It'll hurt. Don't do it. Dry ice must not be sealed in airtight containers, may explode from pressure buildup. Dry ice must be kept out of reach of children. Oh, this is a malicious, dangerous goods 9. Cool. So guys, out of the 3 that I'm showing you today, we are going to use some pomegranate juice, about 30 mils or 1 ounce of that. Then we have Wolf Blass Tawny, a fortified wine, traditionally known as port. Due to the fact that the Tawny is made in Australia and not in wherever port's made, I'm assuming somewhere called Port, it can't be called port. Like champagne is made in Champagne in France. So in Australia or everywhere else, it's a brut. It's basically bubbly wine. But yes, fortified wine. Going to use it. It's red. Then we are going to go with Chambord. It is a black raspberry liqueur, product of France. Turn any night into a sweet night out, if you know what I mean, because it's very sweet. Then we have Voc. We're doing strawberry Voc, about 30 mils or 1 ounce of that. To change up the color profile of this, we can use the blue calico. So these are red, add a blue, you get a purple. I don't know color theory, I was told that. We'll try 15 and we'll see how it ends up. If we really want to go for that deep magenta color, it'll look good. And then we're going to put some lime in just to really flavor it off and round off the tawny, which is quite overpowering in itself. 30 mils of pomegranate juice. We have 30 mils of the tawny, basically port, fortified wine. 30 mils of the Chambord, or 1 ounce. Look, such a beautiful bottle. Look at that. It's got like little sparkly things on it. They bedazzled their bottle. Then we have 30 mils of the strawberry Voc. It is a good day for strawberry Voc. You're gonna put in your lime and give it a stir. As you'll note, it's already a pretty red color, which will look awesome. You can add the blue calico. it will change the color profile, but also the flavor. So we're going with a lot of berries here. This is, even though it's blue, which is strange, it's an orange flavored liqueur. So it will give it a really citrus aftertaste. So we'll put in about 15 mils of that and see how we're looking. Look at that deep rich blue. Okay, so already there's a noticeable difference in the color palette. And we'll see how that looks in your syringe. But either way, you are going to kick ass this Halloween. Look at that. That is a deep, rich color. However you want to place these will look amazing for your events. Halloween is an exciting time. Show off your skills, but be careful, guys. COVID is still out there, so be safe, practice social distancing, but when the time is right, show off your skills. Now let's have a try of these. I am very curious to know how they turn out. Alrighty, pretty viscous. So of course, you'll guess they're probably just going to shoot this into their mouth, which is always interesting. Okay, so first one. Smells good, color's good. Oh wow, that goes down so easily. You first hit with the sourness of the apple and then the citrus aftertaste, but at the same time it's really sweet. You can taste the green. It tastes green. It tastes like apples. It tastes like a witch. It's crackling laughter. Or a mighty fine cocktail. Okay, we're going for the middle one. A witch's apple. It tastes like it smells like medicine. Like you can really smell that cherry brandy going on. Zombie medicine. No, it doesn't smell like that. It smells like witch's medicine. Very witchy theme night. Wow, the bubbles, it hits you because it's carbonated. Bubbles hit you first. And you really get a good chance to taste that cherry. But also, like, there's a subtleness in there and the aftertones. Quite, see if we find a bad one. Wow, you get the port smell for this one, which hits you nicely. There's a sweetness to it. The strawberry really picks up on the flavor. It's complicated but smooth at the same time. There's a lot of different flavors in there. But all in all, I would happily serve this at any one of my parties. I wouldn't know what to call this. Well, you saw the ingredients, guys. Why don't you drop a comment below and tell me what to call it? I think this is my favorite. It's a magenta color. We can make it more magenta. You guys reckon we can make it more magenta? See how it goes? Wow, that came out interesting. It's more like a black fluid now. Well, guys, those are my 3 syringes for this evening. Let's go talk to our saber-toothed kitty friend who tried to stab me with one of these bad boys. Not stab me, she really wanted to get me drunk. She's like, you must be drunk for this episode. But yeah, let's go have a chat with her. I hope you enjoy meeting her. Marian is amazing. Let's go have a chat with Marian. Hey guys, welcome to a spooky episode of Boozytails. I'm here with Marian. Say hi, darling.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
she's such a cutie, isn't she?
Oh, shush. I'm dangerous saber kitty. I'm not a kitty.
That is true. She is dangerous. She comes bearing some... What do we call it, my darling?
That is a con horror story, darling.
Ah, con horror stories. All the spooky things that we have for you tonight. We must excuse the noise picked up by Miriam's mic. She's got one of those fancy suits with the movable jaw. So you'll hear that and that click, click, clash. Yeah. Well, darling, should we start with some con horror stories? Or a bit about yourself?
Lots of them know about me.
How long have you been in the fandom?
I think since I was maybe, I'd say around 13, 14. I've always been a fan of, like, anthropomorphic cartoons and such, so it was a natural progression.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm an old fart.
When did you decide to become more active? So when did you start to participate in like coffee meets and what was the first event you
I
went
kind
to?
of jumped in the deep end because the first furry thing I did was Furdu 2014.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I went in with a friend who introduced me to the fandom, but we're not really friends anymore, if that makes sense.
furries and their relationships. They do ebb and wane.
In any case, that was my first furdo, and it sort of snowballed from there.
When did you start your artistry? Like, your work has been pretty incredible.
Oh, thank you.
I
in
have
any
some of your
case,
work.
tease. But yes, I've been drawing since I've been able to hold a pen. Any furry related stuff would have been later on in like 16, 17 years old.
Oh, wow. So you really had a good chance to branch out those skills.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I've seen it now, and it's quite amazing. Any other creative aspects we can expect your skills to blossom into in the future?
I've actually been branching out into fursuit making.
That's exciting.
Oh, very much so.
Speaking of fursuits, you didn't make this one, did you?
No, not personally, no. This one was done by Dragon Wolf Productions.
Where are they based out of? I'm not familiar with them.
Oh, no, my bad, sorry. Eastern Dragon Studios. Dragon Wolf Productions did the partial. Eastern Dragon Studios did the refurb and the full suit.
Explain that entire process. I have no idea what any of that means. That is exciting.
Alright, so Dragon Wolf Productions
Yes.
did a mini partial for me. The head, tail, paws, and arm sleeves and tail.
Yep.
But it wasn't the best job. Literally the third time I wore her, third time I wore her, her top jaw fell out.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I took the head, the paws, the tail, all the fun bits. I took them to Eastern Dragon Studios, and she basically did me an upgrade with a full digi.
Oh, the Digilegs. That's okay. That's just your glass, sweetie. With your dry ice currently bubbling away. What happens if I stir it? Oh, it's like stuck on the bottom. Okay, so the same person upgraded your suit or a different maker?
A different maker, someone that had a bit more work behind them and who I trusted a bit more.
Oh, nice. So the first who did the partial, where were they based out of?
They're a Sydney-based one. Sydney and Brisbane, they tend to jump. I wonder why. But Eastern Dragon Studio is a Victorian-based maker. She's an Aussie.
Oh, wow. It's exciting.
Oh, very much so. And she was very open with communication about what was going on, what needed to be done, etc., etc.
So you found your experience with that maker was better
very much
than
so.
your last one?
Oh, definitely.
And I suppose when it is a creation close to your heart, you really do want that constant feedback and communication with the stages of what you're doing.
Oh, definitely.
So, there's a handy tip. So have you learned from your experience with them of what sort of maker you want to be moving forward?
Oh, definitely. I want to be someone who is very open and honest with the people who are commissioning me. And I want to be sure they know exactly what they're getting when they come to me.
Welcome back to Boozytails. We took a short break because it gets hot. So hot. Right, let's jump into it. Con horror stories. What are we doing? What happened? Who are we name dropping? Who are we saying that fur there was a little bleep bleep?
Well, it happens to be a wonderful fur who, unfortunately, I don't really know their current name because they keep changing it. Ironic, I know.
Sure, the community will track them down if they're that much of a pain.
Now, if anything, I'm just going to go by Jay because I don't feel like name dropping people.
And Jay is a common fur name. I know 6 J's.
Well, there was Jay and Kay, who are the two that we're going to be talking about.
Okay, J and K.
Basically, Jay and Kay, living up in the mountains at the time, basically convinced me, C, and I to go on Stripes' bus with them up to Furdu. And the horror started because once we got on there, the bus was like this little minibus thing. And Jay decided to bring this big honking plastic box that took up 3/4 of the heckin' thing.
Oh my golly gosh.
Yeah, I know.
So how many people? So we have 1, 2 that were bringing the bus, then yourself and 2 others, so 5 in total?
A bit more. We also had 2 others that we were picking up, and Stripes, who was driving the bus.
Initially, Stripes and the bus plus 2 people, plus
2 more,
2 more people.
plus 3 more. So, in any way, we're all crammed onto this bus. I has a bad leg and was on crutches at the time, so we thought they'd get the front seat, nice open space. Nah. Jay claims the front seat because apparently they get travel sick.
Oh dear.
And so poor little I is basically shunted to the back of the bus and squished into this little area, which does nothing for their leg. And so it's a God knows how long trip from dawn till dusk, because we're basically doing the long haul road trip sort of deal.
Ah, so you went 4 inches on the map in 12 hours.
Pretty much.
Welcome to Australia.
And so we get to the hotel. It's the one across the road from Furdu. We get there. We have to lug all of Jay's heavy stuff up the stairs because there's no ramp. And we get to the front desk. Jay and Kay basically say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have the money to pay for our rooms." Because I paid the bond to get the room. And they come up and say, "Oh, we don't have the money for it." And so I am...
So you paid them the money?
No,
You
no,
paid the hotel?
I booked the room. I had to pay the hotel
Yes.
for their rooming.
Oh, so you covered them before or after? So you initially paid a bond to the hotel?
Yes, and that was my share.
Yes.
And it was the share with everybody for these amount of days.
Yes.
It was like $200 per person.
Oh, so after the horrific bus ride, you arrive there and they
Say they don't have the money.
Why were they at a con if they weren't
I
paid?
don't know.
I feel like this is a common theme.
It's ridiculous. So I had saved up $1,000 for con because, con money. And so I was basically $400 out already just paying for these 2. I was still partially new to fursuiting at the time. And so after the first day, I was exhausted. I didn't want to do anything. I get a text message from Jay. "Oh, can you and C fursuit up? Because I made these things and I want to do some pictures." Me and C are exhausted and we're just like, "No, we don't want to do this. Go away." During the convention, Jay's parents come and give him more shit to bring on the bus back to Sydney.
Wow.
The bus is already packed and I'm just like, "Nah, I can't do this. Have the money." Me, I and C getting on a train instead. I'm booking the tickets right now. We're going. It was a mess. Ugh. Me, Jay and Kay are no longer friends, so it's just wash my hands of them. Oof.
Ugh. Con horror stories where you make friends and lose them just as quick.
Ain't that the truth?
Got any other ones? I feel like we're spilling tea today, and
Well,
you know
this
what? It's
isn't really
Halloween.
much.
Are there bubbles in that cauldron?
Well, there is the thing that they still haven't paid me back, even though they said they would, but that's just icing on the cake.
Money's vulgar.
Yeah.
I tentatively ignore it. That
True.
way you don't get sad you don't have any.
That's the main con horror story. But on the plus side, that year, I ended up making friends with like Cataclysm and all those fun people.
They are amazing furs. Like, they have helped me a lot.
Definitely.
So how many cons have you been to?
Let's see. Let's see. There's been 1, 2, 3, 5 Furdoos, I think, since 2004. I did miss out on one. There were 2. No, those don't count as cons. That's Fur Jam.
Fur Jam's a con. That was my first thing I ever went to.
I thought Fur Jam was the largest not a con.
Oh, well, I suppose they don't, like, have stuff, but I get to meet a lot of people and go to bars and get drunk.
True. I've only been to one HCFC, and that was the one last year, as in the last one. And I've been to 2 different convergences, so all in all, that's 8 different conventions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Is there anything exciting you're working on these days?
Well, I'm actually looking at getting into making my first partial, because I've been making tails and paws and that sort of stuff, and getting used to the whole sewing fur and patterning and all that sort of stuff. But I'm working on getting my website up, and as of this month on FA, I was doing a Adoptober month.
How did that go? How many adoptions did you manage to?
Well, it's still ongoing, and I have someone who's interested in one particular one. But right now, all I've sold is 4, I think, out of the entire month.
That is amazingly good. 1 a week. Congratulations.
Well, the fun thing about Adoptober is it's basically you have to do a drawing every single day of the month.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
I know.
Did you manage to get your one done today?
Not as of yet, because I'm on US time.
Ah.
Because I already did the one for today according to the US, but I have to do the one for tomorrow.
That makes sense. That's a lucky break you have there.
Very much so. A lot of my buyers seem to be in the US, which I'm grateful for because the exchange rate is fucking brilliant.
Indeed. We do love that US dosh. So, you're in a fursuit. We got some dry ice. Should we do something fun?
Yeah.
I don't know. But also, I've got this button here.
Oh?
You see this button? Do you wanna here, switch.
Oh boy.
Catch you later, guys. Maybe I'll do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boozytails. Ooh, spookiness. Bye, darling.
Bye, darling.
We done?
Oh,
I can go?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Hey, where did Marian go? I want to ask her about that thing. We had an issue with the thing. Marian? What was that?